Hey, aloha, Mark J, world's laziest networker, coming to you from our backyard here in beautiful Kauai, Hawaii. Now, if the background looks familiar to you, this is actually where the intro to Gilligan's Island was shot. So if it's familiar to you, then I know what you were doing during college, right? You were in your apartment rather than in class. Maybe a funny aroma in the apartment while you were watching Gilligan's Island and Mr. Ed and all that stuff instead of attending classes. But anyway, on to the rant. It's really simple. I've really had it past here. I'm like drowning in anger about the idea that's bandied about and has been for a couple of decades now of negative selling. Make the person feel bad about what they do for a living, and then try to scare them about how bad things are going to be at age 65. And then we, of course, use fear of loss. If they don't join, this company's going to go vertical, and they're going to miss out on all these millions of dollars. This does not inspire somebody to make a positive decision. And I want to tell you something about succeeding in network marketing. You can't build a burning desire around fear of loss and invalidating a person's occupational choices. What you want to do is bring them from good to better to best. What you're doing is great, and there's a way that you can supplement that and do even better. Because you know, if you're viewing this video, if you're on my blog, that people are going to meet trials and tribulations in network marketing. Mark my words, fear will not sustain the kind of desire that's necessary to learn new skills, to apply new skills, and to improve in those skills. What will inspire people is something completely different than fear of loss, and that's the hope of gain. What you really want to understand is the stuff about your plan, your product, and your company and how they're going to miss out on it is not really going to ignite a compelling story that they want to hear the end of. Let me say that again. A compelling story that they want to hear the end of. What's the compelling story that they want to hear the end of? It's the same story that inspired you to join. I know you probably love your company. I know you're just gaga over your product and it works and it's wonderful and it's helping people. But that's not why you joined your network marketing company. You joined for the same reason I joined. I wanted a different outcome. This is the outcome that I wanted. You joined because you wanted a different outcome. So instead of beating a prospect up about how bad their life is and how bad it's going to be and how bad they are because they don't spend more time and more money with their family, instead of doing that, you want to get them to tell you the compelling story. And what's the compelling story? Their story, their hope of a different outcome. You've got to get into their imagination. Now down there's a couple of links that will show you how to be a great storyteller, because there's only 2 rules to recruiting. Number 1 is this: people don't want to hear sales pitches. They hate sales pitches. I'm sure you do. The second part of the first rule of recruiting is people love stories. That's why we go to movies and sporting events. We want to see how it's going to turn out. But most importantly, people can't help. It's an uncontrollable compulsion to want to hear a story that might improve the quality of their life. Now, the second law is you can't sponsor a suspect. That's a name and a number, or a possibility. That's someone who said, yeah, sure, I'll take a look at your business. The only person that you can sponsor that will go the distance is the person who has a reason for looking. They have to tell you what their reason is, and it's pretty easy to do it. The way that you do it is you ask them what they'd like a little bit more of, what they'd like a little bit less of in their life. And so there's a couple of links down there that'll help you learn how to be a better storyteller, because they love stories. And if that story is about a different outcome for them, they're interested. So leave the negative stuff out and help them go from a good life to a better life to the best life. And you'll find people in your organization that have staying power. Fear does not create staying power. What does? Hope. And we hope that you'll do 2 things. Join us on the beaches of the world and leave me a comment down there. Peace be the journey, and I'm the skipper, so I'm looking for Gilligan, Marianne, and of course, Ginger. Okay, were you a Marianne or a Ginger fan? Leave that in the comment too, and we'll see you on the beaches of the world.